Yes, that is right. Max Holloway just got knocked out at UFC 308, and Ilia is the best champion we've ever seen at featherweight, and he's going to dominate the division for the next few years. Yes, I am predicting that he will knock out Max Holloway, and it won't be close. He's going to destroy him, and I can't wait to see Max Holloway get flatlined. Now, I know some of you are going to be in the comments saying, but Max Holloway is the best boxer in the UFC. Max Holloway is great defensively. Max Holloway can win this fight. And I'm sorry, but that is just a lie.
Oh, good shot.
Yes, Max Holloway will be flatlined tomorrow, about in a few hours from now. Support on the previous video. You can expect a lot more from me. Don't worry, I am looking for a camera because this one's quality is not that good. But you can expect that I will get a better camera in the following weeks. Now, as for my predictions, I'll start with the most important one first because no one wants to watch an entire video. So I'll start with Ilia versus Max Holloway. Now, I am predicting a knockout within the first three rounds, and I'll get into why. Max Holloway's defense is really poor, like I discussed in previous videos, and I believe he won't be able to handle Ilia's pressure. He's the best pressure fighter in the UFC at the moment, and his shots are too good, too precise, and too damaging for someone to take a lot of shots of, especially someone like Max Holloway. And Max loves body shots. That's how he gets into his rhythm, and he won't be able to learn those body shots on Ilia. Because Justin Gaethje fights super upright, that's why he could have gotten a lot of body shots off him. But Ilia is hunched over, he's like a boxer, keep with a movement, and that's why he won't be able to land those body shots. His body is too far away. Now, I believe the first round will open, Ilia will point down to the cage. Max will decline because he knows he would get knocked out if he does. If he does exchange with him, we can expect a 10-second knockout with Max being flatlined. So I would not recommend that for Max, but it would be very fun to watch. So I expect Ilia to push forward, Max to throw a lot of spinning back kicks, a lot of kicks because he thinks that will work from the Jai Herbert fight. And everyone forgets, like, the Jai Herbert fight was like 2 or 3 years ago. And people think Max is just going to do the same strategy. He literally went against Volkanovski, who did that strat. He threw a lot of kicks and it did nothing. None of it worked. And Volkanovski is super quick, much faster than Max Holloway. His kicks are much better, much more diverse. And it didn't do anything. Ilia expects this from Max Holloway. It's an obvious strategy. Everyone thinks it's its weakness. Why won't he expect it? So if that won't work, Ilia will push him against a cage and land a few body shots, starting to slowly drop Max Holloway's guard. Because everyone always talks about Max's chin, but why don't they focus the body? And we know Ilia has great body work, so I think he's going to pressure the body, make him slowly drop his guard until he can come over with an overhand and a few combos in the later rounds. I believe he will start to unload more in the second round, and if he doesn't get him out in the second round with his punches, push him against the cage, and as he goes around, like I discussed in yesterday's video, he will push him down sideways, pushing him against the cage, and land these brutal shots, more body shots, and even if he tries to clinch, he's just gonna work the body if they clinch, if he tries to come in close. And I think he's gonna push him against the cage and land another combo exactly like he did in Volkanovski fight and Jai Herbert fight, and will knock him out. Because he won't be able to take those shots, or he will knock him down and TKO him, or submit him. The submission is also a high probability, so if you want to make money on this fight, I would bet on a second or third round finish for Ilia. That would be my highest recommendation. Now for the Robert Whittaker Hamza Chimaev fight. This is the hardest fight of the night to predict. I've been going back and forth. My friends hate me for going back and forth because we all love Robert Whittaker. Who does not love Rob? He's one of the greatest people just to exist. So this is really a hard fight. I'm still not sure who I'm gonna pick, but it really depends on how Hamza Chimaev is. If he's up to the hype that everyone expects him to be, this will be an easy fight for him. First round submission or second round submission or TKO. And we know Rob struggles with straight punches. Rick has dropped him with one, and he's a bit chinny. And Hamza Chimaev does have power, and he's really good straight shots when he knocked out Gerald Meerschaert. Now I know Gerald Meerschaert's not on the level of Robert Whittaker, but the chin is comparable. Now, the main problem is we haven't seen Hamza Chimaev succeed with submissions against any higher level opposition. So there's a high chance we are overrating Hamza Chimaev and he won't be able to get that submission. Now, as for cardio, we have seen that his cardio is a bit lacking, and when it starts to get a war, he does struggle. If Rob can get this fight past the first 2 rounds, I believe Robert Whittaker will get a late 4th round TKO over Hamza Chimaev. His striking is a lot better, his fight IQ is a lot better when it comes to overall MMA, and I believe he will get the job done. But unfortunately, I think Hamzat will get that submission the first or second round. Sorry, my friends, you probably hate me for this pick, but unfortunately, that's what I think is going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope I'm wrong. I love Robert Whittaker, and I would love to see him succeed. Now, the Ankalaev-Rakic fight. I'm going with Rakic. Rakic is super good. He's genuinely really awesome in fighting. I believe he's the best light heavyweight in the division with pure skill. He just doesn't have the attributes of the other fighters. He destroyed Yuri before he got knocked out, and that's just because Yuri had an unstoppable chin. He looked like the best heavyweight we've ever seen in that first round against Yuri. He genuinely looked so crisp. He landed every shot he threw. He was genuinely just a different level fighter on that night. And he also has a background in wrestling. He's a really good wrestler, so I believe he will be able to stop the takedowns from Ankalaev. So it will be a mostly standing fight. We saw how he struggled against leg kicks against Lambejovic, and I believe Rakic will implement that to great effect. And his striking, I believe, is a lot more crisp, a lot more accurate. So I believe he will be able to work out the decision against Ankalaev, and UFC will rob Ankalaev if he comes close, if it's a close fight at all, because they don't want him to fight Pereira. Even though I do believe Pereira would win that fight if Ankalaev and they ever clashed in the octagon, but I still also believe Pereira would beat Rakic, unfortunately, because the power is too great of an equalizer. As for the other fights on the card, I'm not too interested in them. With the Dan Ige fight, I'm going with Leon Murphy with a decision. I just believe it's too high of competition so quickly back. So I do believe he's a lot better. He has better skills to win this fight. And I'm just going with Shara Bullet. I really like him. I think he's a really entertaining striker. Pirate will strike again, and I believe it will go to decision. I don't see a knockout really in this fight. If he can implement a lot of wrestling, the other guy, can't remember his name, he could win this fight, but I believe Shara Bullet has improved his wrestling to be able to stuff the takedowns, or at least not be controlled the entire round. So I do believe Shara Bullet will win that fight. So thank you all for watching the video. If you have any recommendations for my future videos, you must say in the comments. And I love you all. You all been great with my last video. So I hope you really enjoy this one. And I hope you enjoy the fights. Ilia's gonna dominate. I'm sorry for you Max Holloway. I'm sorry for you Max Holloway lovers. You're not gonna love him because he's gonna be dead. Unfortunately, that is the reality of the situation.